Welcome dear students, we are on the CEC Gurukul lectures. We are dealing with the characterization of nanomaterials. In this series, we are characterizing the optical properties of nanomaterial, in which we are discussing the various spectroscopic methods to characterize the nanomaterial to get its optical properties. Today we will discuss about the Raman spectroscopy. Raman spectroscopy, which is very important for the characterization of nanomaterials. When we prepare the materials in the laboratory, then optical properties should be analyzed. So Raman spectroscopy is one of the optical characterization technique. I am Dr. Sonia Bansal from J.C. Bose University of Science and Technology, YMCA Faridabad. What contents we discussed today are Raman spectroscopy, means we discuss about the introduction of Raman spectroscopy, then we discuss the principle of Raman spectroscopy, what is the process behind the scattering in the Raman spectroscopy. After that we discuss the instrumentation of Raman spectroscopy, means we discuss the Raman spectrophotometer, which is used to analyze the Raman spectra. In the last we discuss about the applications of Raman spectroscopy. Then references we will show you. First we discuss the Raman spectroscopy. What is Raman spectroscopy? Raman spectroscopy basically deals with the three levels: electronic level, vibrational level and rotational level. But here we take the vibrational level for the characterization of the material. In the Raman spectroscopy, by varying the frequency of radiation, means we are changing the frequency of radiation. As the wave of particular intensity or the particular or frequency fall upon a material, then the spectrum can be produced showing the intensity of existing radiation for each frequency. As we follow the varying frequency, then exiting radiations must be of the different frequencies. Now in this spectrum we will get the frequencies of radiation which have absorbed which is absorbed by the molecule that will be on the higher vibrational energy state. It means we are giving the energy to the molecules and it is absorbed radiation and it jump to the higher vibrational energy states. It means we are discussing the energy transitions in the vibrational energy levels. So here we discuss that higher vibrational energy states are required to get the Raman spectrum. Next, who discovered the Raman spectroscopy? As we are seeing on the screen, that Sir Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman, who discovered the Raman spectrophotometer. In 1930, he got the Nobel Prize for his discovery of the Raman effect. Besides the discovering of the Raman effect, he studied extensively in the X-ray, diffraction, acoustics, optics, dielectrics and colloidal solution. So Raman spectroscopy discovered by the Sir C.V. Raman, which is Indian scientist and who got the Nobel Prize that is for the discovery of the Raman effect. In 1928, C.V. Raman documented the phenomena of inelastic scattering. Inelastic scattering means where there is a change in the frequency of the light or there is a change in the wavelength of the light. That was discovered by the C.V. Raman. The scattering of the light at the same as the frequency incident radiation is called the Rayleigh scattering. As we fall the light of a particular frequency on a material, then the scattering of the light takes place. If the same frequency we will get as an emergent light, then we can say it is a Rayleigh scattering. So the scattering of the light at the same as frequency of the incident radiation is called the Rayleigh scattering. However, a small diffraction of the scattered light is observed to have the different frequency. It means we can get the different frequencies from that of irradiated light. That means if we fall the light of a particular frequency on a material, then the scattered light of the same frequency, that will the Rayleigh criteria. If it is of the different frequencies, then it is known as the Raman scattering. An interaction, the incident photon and the vibrational energy levels of the molecule takes place to get the scattering process. Vibration energy level is required to get the Raman spectra. So here we see on the screen, when a monochromatic radiation of a frequency mu is passed through a non-absorbing medium. It means here the light is not absorbed, but here the light should be scattered. So we see that when a monochromatic radiation of a frequency nu is passed through a non-absorbing medium, then most of the light transmitted without any change and some of it scattered. Here we see in the diagram that light of particular frequency fall upon a material, and here the reflection takes place, transmission takes place, absorption takes place, and the scattering takes place. Here we are dealing with the scattering only. So we are taking the non-absorbing medium and the light transmitted without any change, and light with some scattering will take place. If the scattered energy is analyzed by the means of spectrometer, the bulk of energy is found at the frequency of the incident beam nu naught. It means that when a light falls upon a material, then a particular frequency of incident light will emerge out of with the same frequency, that but the small portion of the light will be scattered, and that will be of the frequencies nu plus minus nu m, means incident frequency plus or minus the energy, minus the another energy. Means here we are saying that the scattered energy will be of having the less frequency or the more frequency. The scattering of the radiation with the change of frequency is called the Raman scattering. In the Raman scattering, the most of the light with the same frequency will emerge out, but the small portion of the light with the varying frequency, which may be more or which may be less, will be emerged out from the material, and this process is known as the Raman scattering. Now when a light is scattered from the molecules, most photons are elastically scattered. Elastically scattered means there is no change in the energy, that is the Rayleigh. The scattered photon have the same energy, frequency, wavelength as that of the incident photon. So it is a elastic scattering, or we can say it is a Rayleigh scattering. The frequency, the same frequency will emerge out, or the same energy we will get, then it is known as the Rayleigh scattering. If the small fraction of the light is scattered at optical frequency, usually lower than the frequency of incident photon or more than that of the incident photon, this process leading to the inelastic scattering, that is in terms of the Raman effect, or we can say it is a Raman scattering. It means when the light fall upon a material of a particular, it may be of the non-absorbing medium, then light will be scattered. We get the same frequency light, or we can say with having the same energy light, then it is the Rayleigh criteria. Then when we get the different or the change in the frequency of the incident photon, then it is a Raman scattering. Rayleigh scattering is the elastic scattering, and the Raman scattering is the inelastic scattering. This inelastic scattering has been observed by the Raman. Now Raman scattering can occur with a change in the vibrational, rotational and electronic energy of the molecules. But here we are primarily concerned with the vibrational Raman effect. That was it is called the vibrational Raman effect, because all the transition takes place in the vibrational level. So we need the vibrational Raman effect here, because we are dealing with the vibrational level. The difference in the energy between the incident photon and the Raman scattered photon must be equal to the energy of the vibration of the secondary molecule. The difference between the incident photon and the scattered photon, which is the inelastic or which is the Raman scattered, must be having the equal energy as that of the vibration of the scattering molecule. Then we plot a graph between the intensity of the scattered light versus the energy difference in the Raman spectra, as the energy difference of the incident light as well as of the emergent light. So we get the plot between the intensity and the energy that will present the Raman spectrum. Why we are dealing with the Raman spectroscopy? Why we are studying? Because Raman spectroscopy is non-destructive chemical analysis technique which provides the detailed information about the chemical structure. We can find out the phase morphology. We can find out the crystallinity and molecular interaction between, as we have having the compound or the composition of the various materials, then we can find out the molecular interaction by using the Raman spectroscopy. Basically, it is based upon the interaction of the light with the chemical bonds within a material. That's why we can find out the various chemical structures, phase morphology. We can find out the crystallinity, molecular interaction that we can find out by using the Raman spectroscopy. What is the basic principle behind the Raman spectroscopy? As we see in the diagram that the laser source, it is very clear the source which we are using for the characterization is the laser. So laser source will be used and it fall upon a material, then there is a Rayleigh scattering of the same frequency that will take place from the atoms, and Raman scattering that is takes place from the bond, that we will get the bond change or with the vibrational change in the molecules that can produce the Raman scattering, but here the Rayleigh scattering of the same frequency. So from diagram we can find out that the Rayleigh scattering we can get from the atom, and the Raman scattering we can get from the vibration of the atoms, or we can find out the bond between the atom and atom. Next, here we see on the screen that there are the energy level diagram for the Raman spectra. Here we see on the ground level we are having the vibrational energy states, but at the upper level we are having the virtual energy state. From this diagram it is very clear that we don't have an upper excited state, but we are having the upper virtual energy state where the transitions can take place. So transition can take place. So we are here we see that at the ground level we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 different vibration energy states. At the upper state we are having 2 virtual states. Now infrared absorption takes place between the vibration energy state itself, but here in the Raman the transition takes place from the lower ground level to the upper virtual level. So it means we are having the upper virtual level and the ground level is the vibrational energy state. Now see on the left hand side we are having a dark lines, dark arrows that represent the Raman scattering. As you see in the diagram that the molecule or atoms jump from the ground level of vibrational level to the upper level of the lower virtual energy state, then it will come back at the same position. Then there is no loss of energy, the scattering light will be of the same energy. So this is a Rayleigh scattering. But here on the right hand side in the middle one, we are having the Stokes-Raman scattering. Here see that the electron or the atoms will jump from 0 level to the upper level, but it will come back at the first level of the vibrational energy state. That means it is having the less energy. But in the right hand side, just right hand side, we are having the anti-Stokes-Raman scattering, from where we can see that the atoms will jump from, there is a transition between the vibrational energy state to the virtual state, then it will come back to the lower state, that will gain of the energy. So there are this is a pictorial representation of the Raman scattering and the Rayleigh scattering. The last two, Stokes-Raman scattering and anti-Raman scattering, are the part of the Raman scattering, which produce a less and higher frequency. But here in the Rayleigh scattering, we are having the same frequency. Again I repeat that here we are having the virtual energy level. Apart from the other optical phenomena or other spectroscopy where we are having a different energy levels, but in this Raman spectroscopy we are dealing with the vibrational energy state and the virtual energy state. Transitions will take place between the vibrational energy states and the virtual energy state. So next, just we define one by one what is the Rayleigh scattering. This Rayleigh scattering occurs when the incident electromagnetic radiation induces on the oscillating dipole in the molecule, which is re-radiated at the same frequency. It means we are getting the same energy as of the incident radiation. It is an elastic collision which takes place between the photon and the molecules, result in the no change in the energy. How we can say it is a collision between, because we are following the laser light, that's why we are taking the photon, molecules, we are dealing with the material. So there is an elastic collision between the photon and the molecules of a sample, and we get no change in the energy. That is a elastic collision. We are having the same energy. That is, it is called the Rayleigh scattering. Apart from this, Raman scattering, which occurs when a monochromatic light is scattered by a molecule, and the scattered light has been weakly modulated by the characteristic frequencies of the molecule. And here we are having the inelastic collision between the photon and the molecule, which result in the net change in the energy. Here we see that the light of a particular energy will fall upon a sample, then output will be the varying frequencies, and that is the inelastic collision between the photon and the molecules. As we get a change in the energy. In the Rayleigh scattering, we are having the no change in the energy, but here in the Raman we are having the change in the energy. Now incident radiation excited the virtual state, as we have seen in the diagram, that incident radiation excited the virtual state, distorted or polarized state that persists for the shorter time of approximately 10 to the power 14 second. Elastic scattering of a photon when it is incident on a electron in a molecule. That's why there is a inelastic scattering. What is a Stokes line? As we have seen the diagram, there are two types of scattering. First is the Stokes-Raman scattering, second is the anti-Stokes-Raman scattering. Then what is these Stokes scattering, or we can say what is a Stokes line? When the inelastic scattering, the photon loses some of the energy to the molecules. That is the Stokes energy. That is the Stokes line, and it can be experimentally detected at a low energy scattered photon. Here there is a loss of the energy in the Stokes scattering process, and that will be takes place at the lower energy part of the spectrum. And apart from this, what is anti-Stokes line? These in this anti-Stokes Raman scattering, the photons can also gain energy from the molecules. The energy will change, or we can say energy will increase. That is it. That's why it is called a anti-strock Raman process. You see in the diagram that here we are having the anti-strock and strock transition levels. You see at the left hand side we are having a nu naught, nu is equal to 0 and nu 1, means we are having a 2 vibrational level at the lower state, and at the upper level as represented by the dotted line or the dashed line is the virtual level, that is represented by the J. Raman scattering takes place between the virtual level. So here we see that the particular frequency E excited is equal to h nu excited, and here in the stroke line you see as representing in the arrow, the output we are getting means the transition from the virtual level to the lower level, mu is equal to 1 level, nu is equal to 1 level, we are having the h nu excited minus nu v. It means here the energy will be reduced. So in the anti-stroke line we see that nu naught, nu is equal to, we are having the 2 level, and the excited energy is Ex is equal to h nu Ex, then it will come back at the ground level, then the energy will increase, that will be represented by h nu Ex plus nu, means here in the stroke line minus nu v, and the anti-stroke line we are having a plus nu v. In the stroke line energy will reduce, in the anti-stroke line energy will be gained. Thank you very much.